Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Batman Arkham Asylum. So, we need something to get across a large gap, and instead of just using our plane to leave, we use our plane to give us a tool.
Yeah, because Batwing travel would unfortunately not be invented until Arkham Origins, which takes place in the past, so what the fuck?
Just get in the plane, Bruce.
Yeah, it's right there. Just get in the plane.
Well, I mean, Batman isn't trying to escape the
You idiot.
island. He's trying to stop the Joker.
Yeah, but it's for the sake of just getting out of the immediate area.
I'm surprised this shit isn't just like sent in via mortar. Like just launched all the way from the Batcave.
It's like he had that big, complicated contraption to shoot it out of the plane into the ground, into a capsule that he could retrieve it from. It's like, just get in the
How
plane.
much fuel are you using, Bruce?
I like how Batman's jet is like way more advanced than anything the military has ever produced. It's a fighter jet that can hover. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. That's not what fighter jets do.
Yeah, well, it's not a fighter jet, though. It's a Batman.
Of course, I know why the military would never produce a jet like that. Fucking expensive is what it is.
Well, they don't care about the expense. That just goes to military contractors that they pocket.
Well, they do care about the expense because, like, one of the things that they'll emphasize when designing a fighter jet is, hey, can these things be mass produced without, completely breaking the military's budget? But
What are you talking about? The military has unlimited budget.
no,
Yeah, I was going to say, which is laughable considering how much they spend in military funding anyway.
they do not have an unlimited budget, and even a
They don't
budget-
have the budget to make 100 of those, I guess.
100.
Oh, okay, more than 100.
Fine, 10.
I was like, they need to be able to produce more than a measly 100 of whatever it is they're using. But
Also, Batman has that kind of confidence that he won't blow it up. I also imagine the military does not have that confidence.
I mean, their top pilot is Hal Jordan, so
Ah, and he crashes.
a lot, yes.
this is
You've been in the dark too long. Every plant on this island will get the same unless you cooperate.
this kind of feels like Batman being a complete fucking idiot, because like this is not how you convince Poison Ivy to help you. And I feel like animated series Batman and comic book Batman would both know this, but they needed a boss fight here,
Go back to your
so they wanted Batman to antagonize Poison Ivy. Okay.
It is something that they will double down on in future Arkham games, Batman just being an absolute dick when he didn't need to.
Yeah. Like, in City, it kind of makes sense, and also Origins. Or, sorry, not Origins, Night.
Night.
But here it's like,
It's somewhere below Arkham Island.
it feels like someone in charge of writing or checking it is like, no, we need to make Batman look cool here. How do we make him look cool? Just be a dick.
Yeah, it's
Well, he's already a detective. No, I mean the other dick. You mean his ward? No, the other dick.
well, there was a time when Dick was Batman, but okay, so common writing trope that I really can't stand. You find it most often in fan fiction, which kind of highlights how bad a trope it is. But like when trying to make a character look cool and tough, you write them as just like being an aggressive asshole instead of, being smart about it. There is a difference, you can be intimidating and harsh with what the hell happened there. Batman just sort of like canceled out of one free flow animation directly into another.
Yeah, we play a lot of Smash.
Okay.
Marvel versus Capcom.
But the point I'm trying to make, though, is that, like, for some baffling reason, a lot of people genuinely can't tell the difference between a character just being an asshole and a character, like, putting on an act because they need to
There's
give
got to
us-
be justification for There's got to be justification behind it. That's what I look for. Like if this character is so keen on being a dick or a jerk, there has to be a reason behind it. If this person is just an asshole because, and I'm supposed to like this character, there's a lot going against for me there. So
one of the things that I like about animated series Batman in particular is that for most of the original series, there is a balancing act he's doing between being kind of a nice guy and being the intimidating angst machine that he thinks the criminals need to see Batman as. And then when you get into season 4, after the character design changes, he's kind of lost his faith in humanity by then. Because there's a massive time skip between the two series, so he's a lot harsher during season 4, and it's an intentional harshness, because when they get into the episode of why Dick broke away and became Nightwing, the conflict that broke him and Batman up was directly related to Batman being way too ruthless compared to what he used to be like. There's this fight that actually spills over into someone's apartment, and Batman continues being, harsh, merciless, ruthless Batman, even though there's witnesses in front of him, a family, a woman and her
his family.
kids.
I think it was his family.
And it's it was the criminal's family, and it's at that point, dial it back maybe. But Batman doesn't, and it's such a stark contrast to the way he would have behaved in the original animated series.
Yeah, because before then, the Batman we knew in that series continuity was a very human Batman.
Yeah.
It was very empathetic, very willing to fight for his fellow man while still dealing with the tragedy of his, dichotomy.
My mind goes to the Mr. Freeze episode.
Yeah. But New Adventures of Batman, I can buy a Batman more jaded as he keeps doing this as the years pile on. I think maybe the issue is that it's too sudden.
I don't really think so, because there's a visible time skip there, and it's written in a very deliberate way where it's on purpose. They call attention to the change, and it's in other areas too. Before the time skip, Batman really did want to believe that the super criminals he sent to Arkham could reform. So he was fairly supportive in his way during the episodes where they almost but didn't quite reform. After the time skip, he has this attitude where he's pretty damn sure that they never will reform. Okay, of all the things that don't make sense in Batman Arkham Asylum, it's the fucking energy plants, man. What the hell?
Titan plants, dude.
I realize that they're supposed to be sending out spores, right?
Yeah.
But those don't look like spores. They look like fucking sci-fi Star Wars energy ball bombs.
Yeah. Really concentrated G Fuel.
G Fuel! If you have detective vision on, it looks like Gatorade.
What do you think the G and G Fuel stands
I
for?
do like that
Nut punch.
I do like that you can let the crazy inmate mooks walk into the energy plant radius and it will hurt them.
Because they can only launch one spore at a time.
Yeah. And you can use that to
Oh, that's not fair.
and you can use that with good timing to take the prisoner down and take the plant down at the same time. Ryan is just tanking it though, because it doesn't really hurt all that
I
much.
can't. Yeah.
In my first playthrough of this game, I didn't know you could destroy the plants.
Oops.
So I just ran past all of
Just
them.
right past them.
Yeah.
It's
I treated it like a
Stop
bullet hell. Would just dodge out of the way if one
Just
got
running
too
past
close.
Arkham Asylum like a bad comedian getting pelted with veggies and shit.
Joker's laughing his ass off. More than usual, I should say. Oh. I think I remember this room.
This is nothing but filler. Because we have to go find Cash to tell us
Yeah.
where Killer Croc is. But it's where do you think Croc is?
Some detective.
Where do crocodiles like to be, Batman? Florida.
Florida Everglades.
Okay, the other place they like to be in Florida too.
Australia. I mean, Australia is Florida too in terms of wildlife.
Looking at detective mode, I can't help but like think of the way that the Dark Knight tried to like bring detective mode into the movie series for 5 minutes before having Bruce Wayne throw it out. And
I liked the moral conundrum of it
I
in the movie, but
I somewhat liked the moral conundrum of it, but like the fact that Bruce Wayne was able to do this brings up the question of why no one else with as much money as he has and a whole lot less morals hasn't done that. Like, you know, it seems like the sort of thing that the likes of Lex Luthor or Max Lord would have done.
But you're talking about I kind of blanked for a second there. You're talking about why nobody else would do the Batman thing.
Why nobody else would do the surveillance detective mode thing that they
Using
that
phones
Bruce
to-
pulled.
Oh, okay.
It's exactly the sort of thing that the various DC Universe evil businessmen would have done. So it's probably a good thing that the Dark Knight universe is just an isolated Batman verse where none of those other characters exist.
you were talking about evil DC characters, and my brain just came up with an image of Jeff Bezos.
I mean, what is Jeff Bezos, but not just Lex Luthor?
There's
It's a more boring Lex Luthor.
there's like a rotoscoped animation on YouTube. I forget the name of the YouTuber who did it, but it's basically Superman's in space and he hears someone laughing evilly about a buster that's almost completed. And he flies down to confront him and he thinks it's Lex Luthor at first, but it's Jeff Bezos. And he's actually laughing about a union buster.
Superman, stop him!
It's a funny little animation. Everything, like a lot of the animations that guy does are great. I recommend them. But
I've oh my god, my cat got into my room and now wants out.
If you got in, you can figure your way out.
Totally forgot what I was gonna say. God damn it.
Something about Jeff Bezos.
Oh right. I very recently discovered. Well, okay. After Effects put out a new like AI-driven rotoscoping tool, and it is crazy how effective it is and how fast it works. Like you could
What are you rotoscoping?
just people out of the only things I've tried is people, just taking them out of the shot, like green screening them out, except without a green screen.
The Joseph Stalin plugin.
Yeah, what?
AI-based video editing technology is getting pretty good these days.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, not everyone's gonna have access to fucking After Effects, but
Not to mention, who knows how well an AI can do it compared to someone who does that shit for a living. You know, I kind of don't want motion graphics to have their fucking self-checkout
I used it on
equivalent.
some old footage I did for a video like a year ago, and you know my lighting was really shit, and it had no idea what to do with my hair.
Well, I mean, the idea is to use the AI and to go over it
Yeah.
by hand and smooth out the wrinkles that it leaves behind.
Yeah,
But, like, because doing it all by hand was never feasible. Otherwise, like, why are people looking for these goddamn alternatives? It takes so goddamn long.
I mean, yeah, you're basically just doing a Photoshop mask over every frame.
Do you think Dark Knight Batman's surveillance tech showed, like, skeletons, too?
I don't
What?
think so, but it should. Good
Wait,
dodge.
Bruce Wayne specifically?
Huh?
The answer. Wait, what was the question again?
Do you think Detective Mode in The Dark Knight showed, like, everyone's skeletons the way...
No, it was just sonar.
That's unfortunate.
Like a submarine, Mr. Wayne. Like a submarine. No, that's boring. I want to see skeletons.
Once you get this stupid zip line, it becomes pretty interesting trying to...
What? Whoa!
Higher, Daddy.
The Black
Daddy,
Widow
no.
technique.
Oh, sorry, son. You broke my fucking back.
So this is what it feels like to be Bane.
Once you get the stupid zip line, it becomes pretty interesting trying to find like unorthodox places where you can use it, because unlike a fair number of traversal options in action adventure games of this type, the game doesn't completely telegraph all of the places where you're supposed to use the zip line. It leaves some of them visually ambiguous, so that it takes a bit of work to find all the secrets. And I find it rewarding to mess around with the zipline in this game. I forget whether or not they kept the same design mentality for it in the later games.
City does a little bit. Afterwards, I think they kind of keep it basic. It's like, use it here.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. It does kind of make sense that they would fall away from that in Arkham Knight, though, because it's more of a big-ass cityscape sandbox game. Whereas this is very clearly explorative Metroidvania.
Also, it's a little late for me to bring it up, but Cash really had like the Kratos jawline.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, it's very wide. It kind of like works downwards. Like it starts narrow from the forehead and then just kind of widens towards his chin.
Are they still doing that multiplayer Arkham-style Batverse game?
Yes.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's out.
No, it
it's
comes
not
out. It comes
Not
out. It comes out. It comes out like November.
I am not impressed.
Sometime this fall. I mean, it looks like an Arkham game that you just play multiplayer, which is probably going to be fine enough.
I'm looking forward to
I mean-
it, because I'm looking forward to anything that lets me play as characters other than Batman in a full campaign.
It's more so that they're doing the random loot drops for your characters kind of
Yeah.
bullshit.
I don't really.
That has turned me off of it. But
I don't really
maybe it'll be
care
fine.
as long as it's like as long as it's not like really necessary to win. If it's just cosmetic shit, fine.
No, it has like the Destiny level up stuff going on.
Oh, how does
So it's nothing meant to just play over and over again.
how does that even work with Arkham style combat? Jeez.
I don't know.
But you know, I didn't mind it so much in Avengers because the game was fun enough, even without it. So, like,
It's not something I'm going to immediately play, if ever, because it just doesn't look like something
Yeah.
I'm be very interested in.
I might pick it up on sale because I do have a bit of interest in it. Just it's not urgent.
I
Yeah.
just keep forgetting it exists.
Yeah, Sam.
why did you try that?
What
Hey.
would Batman do?
I mean, never mind. I don't know.
Why did you try zipping up in that direction at that time, when you could clearly see there was a guard between you and where you were
Can't go on
going?
gargoyles.
Oh,
Gargoyles
this
are
is the
scary.
part where they start bombing the gargoyles. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Can,
know, it's
go ahead.
really, really, really easy to fall into the trap of over-relying on the gargoyles and on hanging when you're in these stealth sections. But the fact of the matter is that the stealth sections often have different paths and routes that you can take to sneak around on ground level too. It's just not something that the game encourages until this point, where they start bombing the gargoyles and you have to, you know, think
Figure it
about
out.
where you have to think about where
They
you're
only
going.
they only do this twice in the main campaign as well. If I recall correctly, it's here and one other area where it's more narrow.
Boop.
But there are so many other tactics that you can use in the stealth sections. They're just not something the game encourages you to experiment with outside of challenge mode.
Yeah, I didn't even learn about like more than half of the stealth tricks until I did challenge mode, which was after I played through the campaign twice.
You peek your head out from the corner, you throw a batarang.
I mean, it should have worked. There's no way you'd be. You would have to have like flash-like reflexes in order to react to that.
You just did the Batman equivalent of Joker saying peekaboo and throws a pie in your face, but it's a batarang in Batman's case.
It literally did the same spot 3 times in a row on the sequence.
Right,
there.
right.
So
Oh
it's,
no, this one's you did get shot like 3 times before you were able to deck him in the face.
Well, no, I'm talking about the sequencer bit where it was the same thing 3 times in a row, so I didn't have to move it.
Yeah. Literally, just do one configuration, just hold it until it solves itself.
Dang, these puzzles are sure easy.
Losing your touch, Joker.
But yeah,
God,
we
is
need to
this
get it
part?
moving.
Oh,
yeah,
no!
this is yeah.
And unfortunately, the recording crapped out.
Yeah. So we'll have to catch you guys next time with part 7 of Batman Arkham Origins.
Just put the put the Elgato no signal screen up.
Yeah.